Good morning. Good morning, Saturday morning. Welcome to the coffee chat. So, boy, we're getting down to our last few coffee chats of 2020. So next Saturday, we are going to do a 12-week year kind of a review of what we learned so far, where you're at with the worksheet and creating the, hi, Linda. You're muted. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
Debs. Yeah, so I was just going over, so the next week we'll do a, review the 12-week year, where we're at so far, go over the worksheet, lesson 1, maybe even lesson 2 and 3, depending on where we're at with that and how it plays out. And then the next Saturday after that is December 26th. So we're not going to have a coffee chat the Saturday after Christmas. Well, we will come back and have one in the new year, January 2nd. So, and then next Friday, the 18th, hashtag MBF comes out on Beachbody On Demand for everybody. And then the Monday after that, the 21st, 9-week Control Freak is available for customer purchase. And then don't forget the last week of December, we're doing our 3-day refresh. So after Christmas, depending on when you choose to do it, could be after New Year. So it's the week of December 28th to January 3rd. And then we're kicking off the January group on the 4th. So if you're doing that with this, you can pick your dates for that week. All right. Let me share my screen because today we're going to talk about ingredient swaps. So when I had kind of asked people for recipes, I really didn't get any, but just think of your favorite holiday recipe that's not something that you're getting off the Fixate show or the blog, Beachbody blog. And how could you swap out some ingredients to make it healthier? So actually on the Beachbody blog, I found this, just went in and did ingredient swaps. So if you go into the blog, you can just search that ingredient swaps. What I like here, the first part is it's pro tip is don't try all the swaps. Try them one at a time. See how you like the recipe with that different ingredient in it before swapping out another. So, because you could swap out the flour and the butter and the eggs and the sugar. But if you did all 4, it may not taste anywhere near your favorite healthy or holiday recipe. So I would just, try one at a time. So when you're swapping out all-purpose flour, you can use black beans or white beans. We do have the brownie recipe, a black bean brownie recipe in the Fixate that is really good. That's the first time I've ever used black beans in a dessert. So it sounds weird, but that's one substitution. And the beans add tons and tons of fiber. People should be getting about at least, 15 to 30 grams a day of fiber. And one serving of your beans is about 14, 15 grams of fiber per cup. So it's a good source of getting that fiber in while you're having your treats. They work best in cookies, cupcakes, and brownies. And then you can also substitute your all-purpose, the white bleached flour, which is the one that we want to stay away from, the enriched bleached white flour. And you can use nut flours. And it's just, so 1 cup of all-purpose flour to 1 cup of your favorite nut flour, plus half a teaspoon of baking powder or baking soda. Now, there's a tip down below, but nut flours, you definitely, let's say it's best to substitute flours based on weight rather than volume. So if you have a scale, 1 cup of all-purpose flour weighs 125 grams. So you want to actually swap it with 125 grams of the alternative. So if you have a food scale, you might do that because then you've got the true swap out. Whole wheat flour, you can use that. And then moving on to butters. So avocado is a great substitution for butter. It'll give it a slightly greenish tint to your final product. So good for Christmas and St. Patrick's Day. But just know that that's going to happen. You do want to reduce the temperature in the oven. So I would, if you're planning to do these swaps, go out to your Beachbody ondemand.com/blog and search the ingredient swaps. I can put this link in the group as well. So also banana is a great swap for butter, unless you're Karen, who doesn't like bananas. But it may work well in a recipe for a dessert, something you won't even know the banana's there, right?
I wish I liked bananas, believe me.
Yeah, I eat them almost every day. Let's see, applesauce, that's kind of a common one. Most people know about the applesauce, that you can swap that over. Greek yogurt can also be swapped for your butter. And chia seeds, which is an interesting one. Chia seeds are also packed with lots and lots of fiber. For this swap, combine 3 tablespoons chia seed and 1 cup of water and let the mixture sit for 15 minutes. So kind of breaks up the chia seed, kind of makes it gelled. It gels up a bit. So then you can substitute that over for your butter. And prunes. So I don't know if I tried this one, but you want to put it in some hot water and you make prune butter, which actually probably would be pretty good. Prunes they're actually sweet. So that might actually be really good. And then swapping for sugar. Again, applesauce, you can swap. Dates or prunes, they're good for that. So obviously if you're swapping out your butter, I wouldn't put more prunes in for your sugar. Pick a different swap for your butter. Raw honey, and you want to get raw. There's different honeys, and some honeys they lose the way that they're processed. They lose all their nutrients. So you want to make sure that you choose raw honey. It's a little more expensive, but I know when I get it, it actually lasts quite a long time. So maple syrup, love maple syrup. Obviously good as a sweetener. So 1 cup of sugar for 3/4 cup of maple syrup. So you don't need quite as much. Then you got to reduce the liquid in your recipe by 3 tablespoons and lower the oven temperature. So, for me, I don't do a lot of baking, although I've done a new treat a week, the last month and a half. And so I definitely need to read every single little instruction. Otherwise my treat does not come out anywhere tasting or looking like it's supposed to. So if you're going to try some of these, definitely read through this. And then swapping eggs. So you can go with just the egg white. Oh, there's definitely benefits in the yolk. Chia seeds again can be swapped for the eggs. Pretty interesting. That mixture, 1 tablespoon of chia seeds to a cup of water, set aside for 15 minutes, can replace 1 egg. If using chia seeds as the butter replacement, don't recommend using them also for the eggs. So another similar situation. Flax seeds, super great source of fiber. Make sure it's ground, and that can replace an egg. Works best in muffins, cookies, and cakes. And then tofu is a good swap for eggs. 1/4 cup pureed silken tofu. There's different kinds of tofu. I only learned this through trial and error of shopping for it, but you got your firm, your extra firm, there's silken. So make sure you're getting the silken one. And a 1/4 cup pureed will replace 1 egg. Definitely want to puree that good. Little chunks of tofu in your brownie. So eating healthy doesn't mean you have to eliminate all sweet treats, and that's just part of who we are here. We like our treats. I never suggest eliminating all sweet treats. I think that you can factor them into your meal plan every week. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more. But we also wanted to, and Deb's going to share some resource with you. We typically look at recipes, like the recipes we send out to you on the weekly are Fix approved or have been factored into the 2B mindset. Or the Fixate cooking show, you know, or going to the Beachbody blog and looking for recipes there. But I find different recipes from different sources that are not what we call Fix approved. So we wanted to help you to like, how do I just make this healthier? Because as long as you're, and this doesn't apply just to sweet treats, but to any recipe, how can I make this recipe healthier? So that it just fits in line with the 3 principles of, you know, creating this healthy lifestyle. So let me just share this. Okay, so if you can see the 3 principles here. Portion control is the first principle, eating portions in the right sizes, eating your foods in the right sizes. So that's for a couple of reasons. It's obviously to control the amount of food you're taking in. So we don't overstretch the stomach, because then our stomach gets, when we're overeating a lot, our stomach gets the sensation of full from how much we're eating all the time. So if we're constantly eating too large of meals, then when we eat a smaller meal, our stomach is not going to get that sensation that it's full because it's used to more food. So learning to eat in the proper sizes and, you know, eating different meals at different times is important. And your body can only uptake so many nutrients at a time. So when you're giving it too much nutrients and calories, it can only utilize that a certain amount of that, and then the rest is just going to get stored. You have better energy when you're eating in the proper sizes, and your digestion just is better because of that, because of all those reasons put together. And then principle number 2, obviously balancing your macros. So a meal is best if it has this split of 40, 30, 30. So we try to balance our macros either in a meal or in the day. So, and that helps too with your energy, because if you're combining your carbohydrates with lean protein and or healthy fat, it's going to absorb slower and provide you more energy for a longer period of time. It also, and if you're getting the fiber with all this, you're gonna stay fuller longer. And then principle number 3, cutting out highly processed foods and sugar. So just eliminating or greatly decreasing the amount of sweets and junk food, the kind of really highly processed stuff, things with the terrible sugar that we don't want in there. So when we're looking at recipes and swapping out ingredients, those 3 main principles are the things that are just kind of like that guiding, underlying guide that we look for in our nutrition for the week, for the month, for the year, for our life, right? Portion control, balanced nutrients, and eliminating as much of the processed stuff. So that doesn't mean that we eliminate treats, but let's look at and let's go to 71. There we go. So freebies and substitutions. So I just wanted to review this because we haven't in a while, but you do have a lot of freebies that you don't even have to count into your plan that help create, give more zest to your food, to your water, to your drinks. So let's look at them just really quickly. One that these are, kind of obvious. Your lemon lime juices, your garlic, your gingers, your spices, your hot sauces. But this one I've been adding to my vegan vanilla Shakeology this last week. When I've had it, I put in like a teaspoon of unsweetened, mine was actually cacao powder, not really sure the difference there, but it just gave it a hint of chocolate, really creamy, smooth taste to my vanilla Shakeology. You could add it to your cafe latte, to your peppermint mocha, to your strawberry, just to kind of give it, for something new. And it's a freebie. So don't forget about that. Or if you wanted to put it on your yogurt, right? Something like that. So remember, you have these freebies to go and look at and review, and you might then think, yeah, I want to try this and this and this week. In moderation, coffee and tea. I put in cinnamon, nutmeg, clove almost every morning into my coffee, as well as a stevia sweetener, like a vanilla stevia. But in moderation, max twice a day, you can have 1 to 2 tablespoons of milk, low-fat milk, 1 to 2 tablespoons of unsweetened non-dairy milk, so your almond milk, coconut milk. The stevia drops, you can get them flavored or just plain. And then you can also have max twice a day, 1 to 2 teaspoons of a sugar, like a raw sugar, coconut sugar, just not white sugar, or honey. So maybe you want to put that in your tea or on your oatmeal, on your yogurt, parfait, on your toast. So remember, you have these, right? Just want to avoid creams, half and halves, non-dairy creamers, artificial sweeteners, any flavored syrups, and then chocolate syrup. And then your water bar, we know about this, putting in fun stuff into our water. I've gone back to my rubber band method to make sure I'm getting in my water for the week, and it's a trigger. So when I see the rubber bands on my cup, I can see where I'm at, and it's just this easy mental trigger, like either drink water or I'm doing well, I'm on pace. But mixing in things is fun. And then your Shakeology bases. So we know about like 1 cup of almond milk equals a teaspoon, but there's other options here. So if you're using coconut water, it's a half a yellow. Rice milk is a 1 yellow. Your coconut and your almond milk are the teaspoons. If you're using soy milk, that's actually half a red. And if you're using just milk, like low-fat milk, it's a 1 yellow and a half a teaspoon. And that's because there's typically some sugars in your regular milks. And then lastly, treats and substitutions. So in the Ultimate Portion Fix, it's 3 treats a week. So there's this sheet that we have in our book, or on your in your Nutrition Plus Center app, and you just need to, like, this isn't all the treats you can have. You can have whatever treat you want. Just know there's some already figured out substitutions here for you. If I don't know, my general rule of thumb is I'm going to substitute it for a yellow. So things like, this was a refresher for me, dried cranberries, because I like to put them in my oatmeal sometimes. 2 tablespoons is 1 yellow. I was not counting it as that. So, so go through here and look. And then can you see the To Be mindset?
No, I haven't. I don't see it.
You don't see that on my screen? Okay.
No.
Okay, because I shared it a specific way. Let me just look at that real quick, because that's just with the accessories.
Yeah.
So you've freebies in To Be Mindset language is accessories. So there's a lot more if you're doing To Be Mindset. So make sure you review your accessories. And the purpose, same with freebies in the Ultimate Portion Fix, is to get you eating more veggies, to make your meals pop with flavor. So specifically, if you're going to, if you're steering away from veggies and it would help for you to put something else on them to make them pop with flavor to get them in, then by all means, choose some of the freebies, or if you're following To Be Mindset, these accessories. So make sure you review these for the To Be Mindset. And then last thing, and then I'll turn it over to Deb, is factoring in your treats. You have the option. So obviously, if you're if your goal is to lose weight and you're in weight loss mode, you're going to minimize the number of treats you have per week. But it's up to you. You could have a treat every night of the week. Just make sure you're factoring it into your meal plan appropriately. So if you don't know, make sure you're swapping a yellow, or come in and look at the ones that are identified and make sure you're counting for that. So if you're having a treat every week and you're factoring it in by at least counting it as a yellow, you're going to stay within your calorie range because you can still lose weight. But what you're swapping out when you're having the treats, and just be mindful of this, is nutrients. So if you're having a treat every night and you're swapping it out, and I've been doing this for, that's my mode every now and then, like every night it's a treat. What you're sacrificing is the nutrients. So maybe you're feeling more tired, or your digestion is off, or you're having more aches. And that's probably because you're the treats, daily treats, because you're having more sugar, more indulgent ingredients, and less nutrients, right? So that's the swap there. It's not that you can't have a treat every night. And it's not that you can't even lose weight having a treat every night if you're factoring it in, but it's, with that nutrient factor that we want to make sure that we're achieving to function optimally and to feel optimally our best. So that's up to you how many treats you have per week. Ultimate Portion Fix, it's 2 to 3. Make sure you're swapping it out, but we're in control of our destiny, right? And we're learning that with the 12-week year too. So that may be one of your goals that you're going to line out. I love how this is all going to roll out. I see it already. And so if you're not quite excited about it yet, get excited and just keep diving into the book and doing the work. And by January, we're going to be rocking and rolling with a plan, with this vision, with an execution plan. So, okay. So now I know Deb has a couple of resources, things to share too. And take it away, Deb.
Well, I sort of shared screen, but so what I found out, I read Guidepost. It's a religious little magazine, and this guy, Kevin, he has got himself out of bad. Everybody has a story, and he was at the very rock bottom. And one thing that he had always loved was cooking with his grandmother and mother. And well, he began and created his own entrepreneurship of cooking. And I wish I could share more of the app because I'm challenged. But anyways, but this is the app, and his title is Fit Men Cook. And what I sometimes fixate, I'm just not focused there sometimes. And then Ken is keto lifestyle. So we try to blend our lifestyles together and as far as cooking. But what I found out, and I used this a lot when I was on Cluckwan, this is why I started it, was you download the app, and he has almost virtually the same similar methodology as Team Beachbody. And that is meaning the nutrition, he does his weekly meal preps. So with his recipes, as you may see, let's see if I can zoom in a little. He creates these recipes that you can choose from, like a low carb chicken crust, and you add it to your meal plan, and it will create the menu, just like what Louise provides every week as a meal plan, and it provides the menu, and then you in the back, it gives you the grocery list. Well, this is all electronic. And when you look down here, he'll get you through that exercise every week. And so he'll provide these, and he also has videos and show you how to cook. And so I found this really helpful, and you can also filter his recipes if you're a keto based or paleo. It provides that feature to filter all of his recipes and give you those certain ones. So sometimes when I get kind of bored meal planning, he gives you another alternative. And he also has a tracker for workouts and whatnot. But I follow him on Instagram, and it's neat to go to another provider of it's $3.99 for the app. But I find that this is interesting to spice up your weekly meal. I may just take one recipe for the week and try it out. But this is where you, with 2B Mindset and UPF, it's portion size, and you should be able to interpret any recipe actually and see how it might fit into the program. And so we've been in this for a while enough to know, or if you haven't, ask one of us, Louise and I, and we can help decipher what portion size this should be in UPF world, or maybe 2B Mindset. We can kind of dissect it a bit and figure out where it applies. So this is one area that you can find. And the other one that I use is, I don't have it on here. It's not an app, but it's allrecipes.com. Now, those you have fat and full full flour, and I didn't know this until actually Louise said it, is that if you substitute just one item and not all, your recipes will come out better. But I I did 2 or 3 at once, and it wasn't rising in the oven, or it just didn't taste right. And then with erythritol, you get more gassy, and I was using a plethora of that, and I was not happy with myself. And with me, I hate throwing out food. I hate that. And it says, but if we can choke it down and say, oh, that recipe was okay, then I could probably swap out a little better on that. But most of the time, these recipes with Fixate and the Fit Men Cook, and maybe just our traditional recipes like native food cooking, we're good. But sometimes it is good to change up. So sometimes it is good to go beyond Fixate or 2B Mindset. But the nutrition programs are designed as such. So you're going to get your more bang for your buck going by the program, but sometimes you just need to go outside of your bubble and try something different. So that's what I wanted to share.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's really, because what you're learning is a lifestyle tool. So it'd be the same as if you went out to dinner, at your restaurant or got takeout. That's not Fixate. And you're learning how to fit that into your life and your goals. So it's the same kind of concept. So, and we want to just make sure everybody, you're not just limited to this. Like if you're not following the ultimate portion fit UFT, don't just give up altogether. Make it work for you, right? Do what you can, and the rest kind of, if you need help with it, like fitting it in, and if you're not seeing results, then you can schedule a one-on-one call with me too. I put that in the emails that go out so that we can look at those specific things. So yeah, good stuff. So I was just thinking, we 80-20 pretty much our lifestyle, right? I think for me, it's been more 70-30, 60-40 the last week or two, but that's okay. And, we're just trying to make sure you, like, if you're feeling that way too, and you want to get back on track, one, do the work with us in the 12-week year, and then dive back into your program of Ultimate Portion Fix or 2B Mindset. If you just listen to a couple of videos, you're going to get pumped up. Like, it feeds the brain, and your brain's going to get excited again. So do that. All right, Deb?
What was the 3 Ps you were talking? I had notes for 3 Ps.
The principles of portion control, balanced macros, and eliminating, highly reducing processed foods and sugars. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So that is it for our call today. Yeah, so I would just encourage you, dive into the 12-week year, lesson 1, get that lined out, and we'll talk about that more in depth next weekend. If you have any questions between now and then, shoot them to me or to Deb, or put them in the group, and we'll address those this next weekend too. Yeah. All right. Any last minute comments, questions?
Well, I just wanted to thank Deb for that app, because Brendan moved out and he's in his own place in Anchorage, and he was asking about if I had any cookbooks, and I'm like, oh dude, cookbooks are like, way 90s, get on the internet. But that app, that Fit Men Cook app, I'm going to tell him about, because I think that would be awesome for him to check it out.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that are on that, and if a guy can follow it, it's easy peasy.
Oh, good, because he's a 20-year-old.
Yeah. He'll love this. I think he would really like it.
Yeah, thank you for that. I'm definitely gonna tell him about that.
Let him know he's on Instagram too, because if he follows him, he can get his personality and he'll connect, because I've seen that guy interviewed, and he's got a great personality.
Okay, good.
Very energetic and infectious.
Yeah, I did write that down, that he was on Instagram, because Brennan has Instagram. So yeah, that's cool. So thank you.
You're welcome.
And just in the future too, I don't know if you talked about it, Linda's going to be one of our speakers.
This morning I mentioned it.
Oh.
Organizing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So excited about that, because I need some of that in my life. It's good to see you on the call, Linda. You guys enjoy your time together, Karen and Karen. Love seeing you guys on the call. Yeah. Have a great weekend.
Bye. You too. Bye.
Bye.